Hello, my name is Ursa Ryan, and this is the second part, which is probably the longer part, of my deity domination guide. If you want to see about 3/4 of an hour, I have actually no idea how long it will last once I've edited it down, probably closer to an hour, of me rambling about how to win a deity victory on domination, where I go through everything from techs to civics to leaders to governors to districts and all kinds of strategies. Then go and check out the previous video. It should be the previous one in this playlist. This is going to be the beginning of a series where I effectively win a domination victory. I say win, I'm going to just put my mast out there and say I should be doing this. This is a 6-pronged snowflake, the default map that comes with Civ. I'm using a couple of mods, but nothing that changes the game, like colorized historic moments. Where is this prismatic overhaul, just so I can play as a nice beautiful color. We've got real great people and unique district icons and vibrant waters. They're all cosmetic mods, nothing actually changes. And if you want to have a look at the game seed and map seed, I think I showed it on the previous video. It's just a deity game, standard speed, ancient, no changes, just a straight 6-pronged snowflake map. So here we go. As I say, we're going to sort of have a look at our first tile strategy here. Where do we want to settle this? This is a turn 1 decision which will plague us for the rest of the game. Now, you're looking for a few things here, and we'll kind of go through them in order. You're looking for 4 yield tiles. Now, any start should give you a range of 2 and 3 yield tiles, and by that I mean, look, you can see 2 foods and a production here means it's a 3 yield tile. Over here, we have a 4 yield tile, 3 food and 1 production. The first thing you should look out for is, can I settle anywhere that's going to give me a 4 or 5 yield tile? Now, I only count gold for like half of its value whenever I assess this. So this tile up here would be 1 food, 2 production. I'm going to call it a 4 yield tile, even though it's technically 5, because starting game gold just isn't as good. So where do I settle? If I settle here, I've only got 2 tiles that are 3 yields, but I haven't got any 4 yield tiles, which isn't very good. And on top of that, I actually don't have any 4 yield tiles within 2 of my cities, so I'm not going to get that initial expansion. I'd have to use gold to buy that tile. So far, not so good. We're chasing rivers as well. Always have a look at rivers, because obviously housing is a big problem for us. If we have a look at this, we get +3 housing for settling on a river. I think your city starts with 2 housing, I believe. I think it's 2. So a coastal city would start with 3, this would start with 2, and a river city starts with 5, and then your palace gives you +1 housing, so that would be a 6. Realistically, you're looking for fresh water. It is possible to start a city on the coast with no fresh water, but it's difficult because you've got to pump out a lot of builders and improve a lot of tiles to get that housing up, otherwise your capital will be a little bit stuck, really. Yeah. Warrior is the next thing. We want to have a look at the sort of early exploration. Now, I'm pretty certain that this is sea all around me here, so there's no point going in this direction, so I'm going to send my warrior up just a little bit to have a look. And there's your mountain. It's a 6-pronged snowflake map. We know exactly what it looks like, right? There's no surprise here, but you want to be looking to sort of move onto the top of hills and things like that, so you can see, look, all the way around here, there's lots of sea resources. I've got you know, this river goes all the way up here, but there doesn't appear to be any fresh water up in this direction. No, this is all just coastal, so that's worth keeping an eye on. I also want to keep an eye on district adjacency. Where is going to be a good place to settle in terms of making sure that I have good districts? And this is kind of, we're going to implement all of this now. The real 2 choices I've got is to either settle my city there, or to settle it on this tile, or this tile. Right, those are my options, effectively. The benefits to moving to the sea is that I can effectively build a harbour district on this sort of portion, which would give me +4 adjacency. It gives me more flat land to the north, in which I can use to get like big feudalism, sort of massive farms in that way. The bad thing is it moves me away from all of these high yield tiles up to the north in this direction. It also moves me away from this mountain. Now, I know from a fact that if this tile here is a +3. If I didn't know that, I would sort of potentially sort of look elsewhere, but I'm always tempted to not settle any further from the mountains as I can sort of get away with it. So, I mean, in terms of me pushing this city back, yes, it would give me more adjacency with the fish, but I can actually already get all of these fish here. Remember, you can work 3 tiles away, so this fish, this, these are all in range of my city. So I'm actually going to leave my city where it is for now. Miro, it does its thing. Now, luckily for us, we'll just get rid of these quickly, delete and delete. We can luckily see that it doesn't really matter what we work, right? These are 2 exactly same yield tiles. Now, Nubia are a very sort of generic civ, but they do actually give me a little bit of extra gold when I put mines over bonus and luxury resources. So this stone is going to give me a little bit of gold. So that'll be eventually a 2 food, 2 production, 2 gold tile when I improve it. But this wheat, for instance, is really, really good. That's going to give me a 3 food tile, and there's another wheat in misdirection. So that is effectively 3 very early upgradable tiles. I want to immediately look to get a builder, because there's enough places for me to sort of do this. I'm also going to go directly for mining so I can upgrade this to get myself a little bit more production and kick the next builder out. Again, those sort of starting units, if you've got lots and lots of exploration, a scout is a really good idea. Pumping 2 or 3 scouts out means that you get all of the city-states really quickly. It means you can effectively just sort of explore through the map, find all the goody huts or the ancient ruins, and find all the people to get your civic boost. There are a couple at the beginning. Meet another civilization is a big example of one, which is a huge tech boost at the beginning of the game. But also, we've got find a second continent on foreign trade in this direction. So lots and lots for us to get. Code of laws needs to be done first. Mining, what else would I have done? Pottery is a good one if you don't know what else to do. Animal husbandry as well. It's, you know, you can have a look and see if there are any horses that appear onto the map. I might go for horses next. We'll see sort of how the growth on my city gets. But for now, let's just sort of press ahead. I'm always a little bit reluctant to move my initial warrior away too much. The DEITY AI will start with 4 or 5 warriors at the beginning of the game, and those all add up very quickly to just a thing of like ultra death. Equally barbarians, we can't let ourselves get too far away from the sort of capital in these early turns, because barbarians are going to totally swamp us. So we're not going to move our warrior too far away, just to sort of have a look so I can see this land here. We know that, okay, again, there's going to be no space for the settling in terms of getting fresh water, so aqueduct territory over in this direction. I'm going to move my warrior just back around here just so I can get a glimpse of this area. These first 10 turns are quite relaxing, really. There's not much you can do. You just kind of have to sit there and hope. Really? Yep, there's my mountain. So actually there should be 3 locations from memory. It's a little cheaty, I appreciate. We know what a 6-pronged snowflake map looks like, but those are my 3 campuses. They're going to be there, there, and there. All 3 of those are +3 adjacency. Remember, +3 is the most important thing we can do, because what is the most important civic in the game? Enlightenment. We want to rush towards that. That is the biggest thing, and that gives me +50% science from the buildings and campuses if the district has +3 adjacency, which it will. So that's a really important thing. We also need to kind of have another look at what other districts we want to put down. We're going to have farms all up in this area. Remember my rules from the first video. The most important thing we've got to work out is where my industrial zone is going to go. Now, the industrial zone, it needs to be sort of near strategic resources. It needs to be near mines, it needs to be near quarries, aqueducts, all that sort of thing. Now, there is a horse somewhere around here. I don't actually remember where the horses get put. I don't actually remember where the iron gets put, so that's going to be a little bit interesting. But always use pins. Remember, you can always change the pins at a later point. I think, and again, I don't remember if an aqueduct can bend around like this. We can always switch these around, but I think I'm going to put the aqueduct there, I'm going to put the industrial zone there, and then I'm going to put harbour district down there. So already we've got this planned out fairly nicely, I think. There's the harbour, there's the industrial zone. The industrial zone will get a +3 adjacency, the harbour will get a +3 adjacency because of these 2 fish, 1, 2, and then the districts. So far so good. This warrior, you just keep coming around. I know there's some space around here. I'm pretty sure there's not too many goody huts in this map, but even then it's very hilly, and I'm just aware the barbarians are going to jump on us and kill us with brute force. They are jerks in this game. Move out here, 1, 2. Yeah, there's the first encampment. So we'll go and attack that with our warrior. We'll upgrade him to battle cry as soon as we can. There's the second population. We know exactly where it's going to be worked because we had 2 identical tiles. Now, it's going for this next, this irrigation, which is actually a very good tile because it gives me exactly the same yields as these 2, but it also gives me a faith to get that initial pantheon, so that's quite good. We'll just start battering at the walls here just to see if we can take down that encampment before they throw too many barbarians at us. But I don't know if we're going to have too much luck with that realistically. So there we go. I'm pretty sure that will start working automatically. Yep, it does. Good. Good. Minor defeat. You see, look, we're already beginning to lose this little battle here. I need them to attack me, ideally, rather than the other way around, which they might start doing. No, I'm going to have to fortify until heal. This is why online speed's really good, because he would have already upgraded by now, but never mind. Oh, cool. Our builder is almost there. Oh, here's the scout. Lovely. Right, this is the initial thing you've got to be a little bit careful of. The barbarians will flock you on these early stages of the game, and you've got to be really careful that you don't get swamped. Now, what do I do next? Second one, animal husbandry. I need to know where these horses are. Again, it's that additional yields at the beginning of the game, which are going to do me great. Here's the builder. We're going to move you out and immediately upgrade that wheat, which suddenly is my first 4-yield tile. It's about making as many 4-yield tiles as we can in the early stages of this game. I am going to call that a 4-yield tile, not because it's particularly good, but the faith is really important in getting a pantheon. So the next question is we really need to sort of push our capital in terms of getting the size of it up really quickly. So builders are quite useful here. Monuments would also be good, but I also don't trust the fact the barbarians are coming, so we're going to quickly just build 1 slinger just to keep everything safe down there, give them a little something to worry about. Once we can get a Gogi later in the game, we can really produce more units. He's going to clearly come and just sort of break my stuff immediately. I can just tell my warrior's healed a little bit now, so he can go, and there's the promotion. Right, so I'll be able to promotion next turn. It's three hits and you get a promotion on standard difficulty. So, oh, I actually killed him without upgrading him. That's a silly thing to do. Don't do that. So, I think I should get another production, and I should get lots of gold from this tile now. No. No, because that is a quarry, isn't it? Not a mine. Ignore me. I clearly know how Nubia works. Oh dear. Right, this scout is still dotting around in this area, actually, so we can probably track him back and trap him a little bit. Oh, he's attacking my capital. Oh, good for you. That's useless. There's God King. Let's get discipline up immediately, because we don't have any scouts at this precise moment. Move my warrior back. Give him Battle Cry. Battle Cry you should always go for at the beginning of the game. It's always better than Tortoise. Tortoise is really good once you start attacking cities. Oh look, there's another barbarian encampment. See, look, this is a ridiculous thing. You kill one, another one pops up almost immediately. Right, move you back there. I'm going to wait for this wheat to uncover itself. It's 50 gold. It's almost worth saving up the gold to do that, because it would help to improve the size of my capital very quickly. You see, look, he's just battering himself on my walls. That's mad, that. I'm not going to complain, because effectively I've sort of done that. Right, now, visibility is the next big thing. I'm going to leave my warrior on this tile to stop barbarians from spawning in this area. It's all about just sort of putting your warriors, your early game units, into the map and just sort of pushing them around a little bit. I am going to burn some gold to get that additional wheat tile. It's really important that I do that as quickly as possible. After that point, we're going to get another builder, because some horses are going to appear, and I'm also going to look to get irrigation nice and quickly as well, and then also keep the farms going, because again, I want my capital to be as big as it can, as quickly as it can. And then here we go, there's another scout. You see, look, they just gang up on you, don't they? Terrible. The only other thing you could do with gold is save it up to get that early game settler, but I always feel like it comes a little bit too late. I'd rather boost my capital up to a nice friendly level as quickly as possible. So already, look at this, another 8 turns and we'll have that grown. 1, 2, 3 improved tiles. We've got 3 4-yield tiles already, and this builder will come out now. We'll have a look and see where the horses are. The horses are here. I knew there were some horses somewhere. Right, okay, that's interesting, because that means this is no longer the best tile. That means that effectively this tile over here is now the best tile, because that would have a more adjacency bonus with that horse. Do you see? Because it would have +2 and then +3 because of the districts and then +4 because of horse. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, good. Good. Slinger, you come in, attack the scout. We're going to start putting some pressure on those scouts. Just now, what do we do now? Animal husbandry isn't as important. For whatever reason, this has started to work the horses instead of the wheat. I disagree with that entirely. I need you to work the wheat because I need the city to grow. Don't know why it's working the unimproved horses as opposed to the improved stone, but there you go. Now, never get archery, even if you've got the upgrade, until you've got a good handful of slingers. There's no point to it at all. What we are going to do is get pottery. We'll get pottery and then we can probably go straight to irrigation. It's all good in this direction. Oh, look. There's some spearmen. That's lovely. So, we can get one hit off, which will get the promotion. I can then run him and heal him and then sort of defended my territory. Okay, so actually this build is important that we push him down, but then some slingers are going to be really important after that point. I don't know why it's getting foreign trade. Oh, it didn't give me the option because I had this clicked from earlier. Right, always go craftsmanship first. We've improved the 3 tiles. That's fine, but I want builders and I want agogi. Agogi will help me to build way more troops at a later stage in the game. I'm going to run you back now, hide you back in my empire. You just... Why would you do that? That's a terrible place to stand. Awful. Absolutely awful. The spearman will probably chase me. And no, he doesn't chase me. Okay, right. Well, in that case, I'm going to pick a volley and I'll go after him in a second. Wonderful. Do you see? It's all just sort of strategically building it up. But we need to worry about getting our governor as quickly as possible. Pingala is going to be the thing that pushes us through these early stages of the game. The spearman has disappeared. Look at that. He'll come back immediately. No doubt. Leave that warrior there to keep the visibility up. That's fine. The builder is only 2 turns away now. 1 turn away now. Where has that slinger gone? Oh, he's actually waiting on the encampments. I want him to come to me. Come out of the encampment. That'll be good for me. You gonna move? He is gonna move. Fool. Because now I can just attack him and kill him. Wonderful. Right. We've got the archery boost before, so we don't get anything extra from that. Quickly, improve the horses. Wonderful. It actually does give me now a 5 yield tile, so I've got loads of 4 yield tiles. It's always worth getting builders at this early stage of the game. Remember, you should always be working tiles that are fully improved. It's a really, really important stage to this game. Now, when do you build the first settler? It's a sort of a tricky one, really. I want to build the settlers when I'm in a position to put these campuses down. That's the biggest sort of point for me. To do that, I need bronze working, realistically, and to do that, I kind of need aqueducts to make the cities worthwhile. It's a sort of weird combination of sort of assets I need here. So I'm going to have to think about this quite carefully. If I were to put a city, for instance, here, like so, that means I could aqueduct to this point. So there's my aqueduct, there's the campus. Yeah, so far, so good. Although my cities are kind of cramped together, and I do want to make sure that they have the space to grow. I'm probably going to end up putting my city on the barbarian tile and then aqueducting over to there. I think that's probably not a bad move. This sheep eventually will be sacrificed to the sheep gods. Actually, is it worth putting it there, or shall I put the industrial zone? I'll wait until iron comes out to put the next load down. So do I rush the settlers now? Well, actually no, because I want to get my population to at least 7. You want to get to capital to about 7 pop before you do anything crazy like building settlers out. And don't forget, production is going to be very quick to sort of pop up a little bit later. A monument is always a good thing to get at some point because that's going to massively improve my culture. I don't need another builder. I'm going to get another slinger. I just need to make sure I never run out of early game slingers. You kind of want about 4 at the very minimum. And it gives my capital some time to level up. Here we go. So, as I say, keep the pressure on these barbarians. I can't allow them to get a foothold in this area. Now my builder. Is it worth burning more building slots on farms? Well, realistically, no. They're not very good tiles. I could go down and get this fishing boat, but I could also wait the irrigation to get this and then keep a builder around just in case something gets pillaged. That's probably not a bad move, and just wait with my builder until the population of my capital raises. Oh, he's run away from the encampment. There you go. Done. Era score, bit of extra gold. Wonderful. We are burning on gas, cooking on gas. It's all good. So where's my irrigation? 7 turns until I get irrigation. Is that worth getting instead of writing? Yes, I need to save up a little bit of gold because I need to buy a couple tiles to get over to that mountain to make it worth it. Okay. So actually, I've got this area pretty safe now. This is pretty good. Oh, there's a hurricane over there. Ugh. Terrifying. So I'll move you to that. This gives me good visibility in this area. I can make him wait in that area. That's fine. 6 turns until I get irrigation. What does my capital do before that point? Again, we just need to actually build another 2 slingers. Just force ourselves to do that now. Otherwise you will never end up doing it, and you need all these troops because the DEITY AI, they will kill you, and they will kill you violently. So you need to get a bit of a standing army at this point. Also, it does help push the barbarians back, which is always a really, really good thing. What's this suddenly working now? Why has that got quicker all of a sudden? Don't know. In fact, what I'm actually going to do is, because I'm going to get a Gogi very soon, we're going to get a granary up to get my housing and my food up, and I'm going to put this just in front. And then we'll make 3 more slingers and then a granary, because I'm going to get a Gogi, which should speed that up very quickly. You just push forward a little bit. There's the scout, actually. Move you. Okay, so we're beginning to explore and keep these areas safe. Remember, nothing can sort of do too much damage to me. As long as I can see the area, there's going to be no threat of barbarian. Can I move to this? Yes, I can move to that hill. Keep an eye on that hill. So I might just keep my units there for now. This slinger, sort of make your way up in that direction. Wonderful. Let's push ahead to irrigation. So here we go. Irrigation, but also Agogi. We're going to pick up Agogi just because that means we can get lots more troops in our nation. I think I need 25 faith to get that pantheon. So what we're going to do is we're going to just drop to urban planning to get myself a little bit extra production, which seems silly until I force work that tile over there just to get that extra faith for now, and then we'll quickly go and improve that, which would give me a little bit more gold. Lovely. Bit of gold per turn, saving up to buy the settler or to buy the tiles for this campus. I'm not sure yet. We'll sort of play that one by ear. So we've now worked and improved all the tiles we want to. We have all the techs that we need. Bronze working is probably going to be important for this city, but we can hang on to that just for a little bit. I think the time is right now to get writing. We haven't met another civilization, but as we're moving north, we will discover someone quite quickly. One of the big reasons that I want a big population in my capital is that we need a good government plaza. And government plazas do take a district. Don't forget, I want a science hub, a harbour, and an industrial hub, so that's a 10 pop, but we're waiting for 7 pop to get 3 of those districts in to start with. So we're going to go for state workforce. That gives me the governor, that gets Pingala in my capital, and then the government plaza being built means that I then have a second, effectively. Now, where am I going to build the government plaza? I think at this point, it doesn't overly matter. I'm going to just wait and see if a Magnus city would probably have the state. Yeah, the government plaza might just suit that a little bit better. So we're going to hold fire on that one, but build a specialty district. Hopefully, I'll get writing up nice and quick, and that'll do me some good. Right, so here we go. Now we can actually see all of this area now. I'm going to leave my slinger there and stop the barbarians from coming to give me too much trouble. Stonehenge has been built on the same term, but I get a pantheon. So, if in doubt, Divine Spark. Oh, there you go. Divine Spark is always a good way to go. But if you get a good pantheon, always have a quick look down to see if the settler pantheon is here. Unfortunately, someone has grabbed that. If you've got somebody that has lots of faith per turn coming in at that quick stage, it's actually really handy because you can just jump straight down into that and get a free settler, which is really, 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 really good. But otherwise, you want to be getting something that gives you some sort of decent adjacency. Now, production from fishing boats is quite handy, because that means I should be able to improve all these fish and get a good sort of an area from that. But realistically, I'm not going to get enough fish for that to be a super important thing. I've already got a pasture and a plantation. So there's a culture from pastures and culture from plantations. Both of those are pretty good. There's actually lots of different pasture areas here. So I could get culture from plantations. Sorry, from pastures, because that's really good. That boosts me into getting these early game governments really quickly, because I want to get to recorded history as soon as I can. That's the aim, effectively, for me. So the extra production's not a bad idea. City growth rate is 10% higher. That's good if I were to get myself a free builder, but at the moment I don't have anywhere to improve. So that's not very good. Unit clearing barbarians. Lots of faith for barbarian outposts, but again, that's quite an early game boost. I don't really mind about that one. I could get extra faith from quarries. That is the improvement I was sort of worrying about, but again, I don't need that extra faith. City patron goddess is always quite a good one. That one is an extra load of production towards your first district. Against DEITY AI, you need something that's going to scale up to that later stage in the game, something that's going to really help towards the end of the game, because that's when you're going to start catching the computer back up. So because of that, I'm tempted to go for extra production over strategic resources. That would give this horses a really, really good boost. Equally, the culture from pastures. I'm actually going to go for pastures, because that will improve the culture in my capital. It'll help me get some tiles nice and quick, which we should be doing now. Yep, there we go. Look, that tile is on the way already. It should boost me towards state workforce nice and quickly. Okay, I'm kind of happy with that choice. That's pretty good. So again, really tempting with the capital to immediately buy that settler, but no. Just hold fire just for a second. I'm just building a couple more slingers. If you don't build them now, you will regret it later. I've currently got 1, 2, 3, and then I've got 2 more to come. So that gives me 6 units in total. That gives me a lot more protection against the AI if they were to ever shoot me. Actually, this is quite a defensible position, because I've got to get into a forest and across a river, and I can shoot them beforehand. So this is quite handy, actually. Wonderful. I've got reinforcements coming before we know it. Here's the other settler as well. We'll just move them up to the front. Okay, population 5. Capital's doing well. Capital is doing very, very well. We could sort of focus on getting more food up. I think that's probably a good strategy. We've got a couple tiles here that would be very high food, sort of a good 3 food introduction. So that might do that. Quickly get another builder, or I could go straight for a settler. We've got 6 turns until we can do the library. So should I treat myself to a settler? Actually, in the 7 turns it'll take for me to build it, I'll get back to 5 population. Equally, 320 gold. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save my gold for the first library. Let's do that. So quickly get the settler in. We'll get 2 settlers, settle these areas, and we'll get started. I always like looking at these screens. You can just see how far behind on DEITY you always end up. It's just ridiculous. 32 points. But it's fine. We will catch up. It's all about getting that good base of information. Look at this. Desert and tundra next to each other. You gotta love this map for that very reason. It's so random, isn't it? So this is kind of the core of how we're gonna power through the game. These 3 campuses. It's a good old start, that one. Well, they actually left the encampment open for me. Lovely. Look at that. It's doing nicely. So I'm going to leave that guy there, actually, and then just keep moving this one forward, and we'll have the whole peninsula just sort of revealed to us and nice and safe from barbarians. It's all about just getting these early units out to stop barbarians from sort of hitting you. If you can do that, it makes such a big difference. And there is Marley. I should have met you a couple turns ago, but never mind. Exchanging ideas on capitals is good. He is the one adjacent to me. And look, only population 4. So, you know, population 5, it works well to focus on the food of your capital, even if it is just a little thing. When you are on DEITY, look, my military strength is 65. It could be down at 20, but just by having 65, they're more likely to give me the time of day. But as soon as you meet them, send them a delegation. That same turn, send them a delegation. Otherwise, they will reject it, because DEITY AIs are geared to hate you from the very moment that they see you, right? You have to do that absolutely immediately. Once you've done that, we can have a look and see if there's anything we can sell. Realistically, do we need more horses? No, we don't need our horses. We're not going to be building anything with horses just yet. So, 4 gold per turn. Thank you very much. And suddenly we're doing trade as well. The fact that we're trading means that they are going to like me just a little bit more. Sometimes it's almost worth selling your initial luxury as well, especially if we've got multiple copies of it. We're going to get one over here. Is it going to would it give me too much of a penalty? It would give me quite a penalty actually. So we're not going to do that, but the gold per turn will help because that'll help me get that library up nice and quickly.